slept about 12 hours in Casa Perin last night. I have to say it was a really good place, right next to the church here. And then the cafe was open just after 7 this morning. So of course I breeze in and say, you know, tostada, jamon. No, all he's got is those little cakes in plastic wrap. I thought, oh, what the heck. And I left extra food in the room. But not to worry, I have had coffee, Zuma Naranja orange juice and a couple of little lemon cakes. That'll do me. And I've got plenty of food with me for the day. I've got a couple of boiled eggs, tiny tin of tuna, a couple of slices of bread, some cookies. So that should see me through the 27 Ks. Let's get going. Some nice horses along the way. Surprised it's getting light so quickly, but of course I'm leaving a little bit later than I did yesterday. It's almost 7:30, so civil twilight is 7:45. Try and get some good mileage done while it's cool. Nice sunrise, not quite there yet, but plenty of light, enough to walk. Up ahead, about 300 metres ahead of me, is Marco from Italy, who I just met. A brief hello and a ben camino, and he said, see you in Merida. And I thought about that for a minute. I thought, 27 today, 15 tomorrow, that's 37. That's 42 kilometres. No, I don't think I'll be seeing you in Merida. He's one of these guys who walks pretty quick with a pretty light pack. That's Paul from Switzerland, just disappearing ahead. He's done many very long Caminos. Clips along, he's got a tiny pack. He's obviously used to these real long distance ones. I've seen him a few times. Funny, yesterday, what was it, 20 Ks? I ambled along and took a lunch break and all the rest of it. I think I took 6 hours, he did it in 3 hours 15. Well, he's built like a marathon runner. I know I'm a terrible judge of distance. Just looking at those hills, I wonder if that's about 27 Ks, our distance for today. Could be further. Be interesting to see when we get there. So it's Torremejia today, excuse my pronunciation, 27, and then only 15 tomorrow to Merida. So yeah, just curious to see how far away those hills are and when we get to them. Farmers are up here early working. So I'll just give you a little mud map of what's happening today. So from Villafranca to Torremejia is 27, and over here is Almendroje, I think it's called, which is 4 Ks from the Camino. So it's roughly, it's an interesting sort of logistics challenge for somebody who can't walk very far. So it's 10 to here, so that's a decision point. It's an early decision point, but do I make for this off-route village and perhaps grab a bus to the finish or to the end of the day? It's another, this triangle is basically 4 Ks on each side, so it's another 4 Ks to here, so it's at 14 Ks is another decision point. I could cut there and come 4 Ks back to the village, giving me an 18 K day, which is pretty easy now. And then that decision point is, do you press on 14 Ks to Torremejia? So it gives me a few options. Right now I feel like, yeah, let's do the 27, but who knows, you know, after 14 Ks my feet might hurt or something. And when I say feet hurt, I mean I can put up with hurting feet. The thing I've got to avoid today is damaging the Achilles. But I think we'll be alright. And I checked the Alsa bus service, which is the local bus service, and there's a bus leaving from here from 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock, to Torremejia if I need it. You know, that's the plan B. But the plan A is to walk right through. So let's crack on. Been going a couple of hours, might be time for a short break. So that's Rudy from Italy up ahead. I'm surprised there's still people behind me because I started, what time did I start today? 7:30. And I think most people are starting before that. So ahead of me is Rudy from Italy, Franco from Italy, Paul from Switzerland. And I imagine anyone else is ahead of me. But who knows? I might have another one coming up behind. I think I mentioned before I've probably met 10 pilgrims. So, you know, in any one day, I'm not going to call it a group, what would I call it? So people who are walking at the similar time to me, similar days, you know, you kind of move down the Camino together. So there's probably a group of about 10. Interesting that I'm kind of keeping up with them, but it's because of the stages. So there's not a lot of options on the VDLP. You know, if you kind of look at the map and you're going to walk 20 k's or 40 k's, and so people tend to be walking to the same places. That will change though in the next few days because, you know, where there are stretches over 30 k's, I'm just not even going to try that. So I'm doing my shorter days, so these people will go ahead and I'll probably see some more coming up from behind. This is glorious. It's going to be hot today, I think. I mean, the forecast is like 23, 24, but it's totally clear sky, so I think the sun's going to be quite hot. It's interesting when you look at the Granza website and it describes this section. It says it's flat, something like it's flat on good tracks. You know, you're open to the sun, there's no shade, there's no intermediate stopping points except for this village that's 4 k's off the Camino. And it says it's pretty boring except for the first bit. So the difference, I think, between the first bit, which is this, and the last bit is that the track has a few curves in it. I think that's the difference. And from about the 10k point, it's just in a straight line. It's probably going to be a bit like that section on the Frances from Carrion to, oh, I can't remember the village, but it's that infamous straight 17k section. So the second half of this will be like a reenactment of that, but with no trees. I have to say I'm enjoying this. One of the things I guess that has surprised me is the quality of the tracks. You know, these farm tracks are really well maintained and it makes for easy walking. It's easy on your feet. It's not much on roads at all. It tends to be just when you're coming to the towns. You know, there's a couple of k's on the roads at the end. But I'm really grateful for the surfaces on these tracks. So I'm still pondering who's coming up behind me. I think I know who it is. I think it's Felix and Mogus who are camping. I think one of them wears light coloured pants and they sort of go along at a fairly slow pace because they've got big backpacks. That'd be nice to see them again. Mogus had really bad feet, so it'd be interesting to see how he's going. Okay, that's enough waffling, Rob. On with the walking. So the mystery of who was coming up behind me is solved. It wasn't Felix and Mogus, it was Barry from Ireland. He's just back there making a quick phone call. And Eduardo from Madrid, who's a little bit quicker than us and has gone ahead. So far so good. I think about the 10k mark. First 10's always easy. Hopefully the sun won't get too strong. I might have second breakfast in a minute. I was wondering why I felt so exhausted yesterday, and I'm thinking it could have been a sugar hit, because when I left the hotel in Zafra, I took a couple of those big sugary cookies as a snack, and I was munching those, and I wonder if it was just too much sugar and it kind of, you know, zonks you out a bit, because it was really odd to be feeling so lethargic. So maybe today I won't have anything sugary. We'll see how it goes. So I got a couple of boiled eggs and a bit of bread I kept from lunch, and I got some nuts. Maybe I'll just keep going on that today and go for the low burn energy, see if that works. Eduardo doesn't look like he's walking that quick, but he's pulling away. Just hit 14 kilometres, which should be halfway. I have to say, the turn-off for that village over there, which was supposed to be at 10.4, I missed. I wasn't kind of looking for it. So the other one should be at about 14-15. But I won't be bailing out. I'm feeling alright. Tendons are getting a little bit sore, but we're just over halfway, so I reckon we give it a go. So this is the point of no return. This is the excuse me, second turn to Almendralejo. So I missed the first one. So that's the town over there. So if you needed to bail out, this is at about the 15 kilometre mark. But I'm doing alright, so we'll crack on another 14 k's. I expect to slow down a bit. The sun's coming up and the feet are getting tired, so first half of the day is always easy and quick, second half a little bit slower. So 15 k's down, 12 to go. Just stopped for a little snack and a bite and some water, and it's getting warm, so now is the time to connect the umbrella. I think I've got a video on my YouTube channel showing how to do this, but this is quite a nifty little clip from Ultralight Gear or something. There was another clip down the bottom which I've lost, but I just tuck it in under my elastic there that holds the water bottle. I swap the water bottles over, so I've got another litre to go with a little bit for backup. Always leave a little bit in the other one. And here we go, onwards. It's a bit of a cloud of tractor dust. There's a few tractors on the way here. If you ever worry about the remoteness of the VDLP, and you know, what if you fall and break a leg or something, so far, other than a couple of sections, there's a fair degree of sort of local traffic, as it were. I was just going to make a mention of this umbrella again, because I'm loving it. Just check the temperature. It's only 18 degrees, so the temperature's not particularly hot, but the sun's strong, and the sun was sort of beating on the back of my neck, and having to wear a wide brim hat, your head gets a bit sweaty. I thought, what the heck, I'll put the umbrella up. Oh, such a relief. I get a lovely cold breeze under the umbrella across the top of my head. It just feels so much more comfortable. I think these weigh about 270 grams or something. Well worth the extra weight, I reckon. If you were thinking of one, maybe I should sell them online. So it's about 10 k's to go. Another pilgrim just passed, lady from Belgium, I forget her name, I think it's Annie. I reckon those buildings at the foot of that hill might be where we're going. Interesting. Alright, onwards. Do you like this sort of landscape for walking? You know, a lot of people I think are put off the VDLP because they think, you know, it's very desolate and there's not many trees and things like that. I actually like this landscape. Probably if you walk the Camino Frances and you don't like the Meseta, you wouldn't like the VDLP, because it's kind of all a bit like the Meseta for me so far. I just love the vast openness. And this section today from Villafranca to los Barros, I was a bit apprehensive about it, I suppose. 27 k's, and it's kind of right at my limit, but I've really enjoyed it. The track's in great condition, so it's not hard on my feet. There's lots of activity going on. I don't know, there's probably been a dozen different groups of farmers trimming olive trees and planting stuff and trimming. I think it's nice. And then we've got these mountains coming a bit closer. I think the stop for today is probably going to be just in front of them. It's about 8 or 9 k's to go. So if this sort of landscape appeals to you, you might just like the VDLP. I think Barry's catching up with me, so he had another phone stop. So I better turn off and have a natter with him. So I can't remember if I did an end of day video. Apologies for lying in bed, but I've just got into the albergue, done my washing, had a shower, and I'm freezing cold. It's 18 degrees in this room, which is not overly cold. I just feel really cold. Today was really good. So the 27 k's was not a problem at all. I think part of the secret was I was chatting with someone for 2 or 3 hours while walking. So Barry from Ireland. We had a similar pace. I think he slowed down a bit for me. But, you know, one of those Camino chats about anything and everything. And the distance just melted away. So it was really good, and it wasn't too hot. I put the umbrella up in the afternoon. My tendons and plantar fascia just held out. They were starting to scream a bit towards the end. But yeah, overall it was a really good day. I think just lucky with the conditions. So tomorrow is a very short day into Merida, 15 kilometres. I don't know, I walked quite quick today. I was up to about 4.5 k's an hour at some point. But I don't want to rush. I mean, the feet took a pounding today, so I'll go slow. Allow 4 or 5 hours to get into Merida, so I might leave about 9 o'clock. And then I'm having a rest day in Merida. So altogether, a very good day. I managed to sleep 12 hours last night. If I can do that tonight, that would be awesome. I'll check in again tomorrow.